that guy's a woman.
Nah, I don't believe it.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll check it out. Hey,
What are you doing down there?
Hello and welcome to the KungFu Cast with me, Lawrence, also known as Kane, Pete, and Ollie, also known as Ollie from Sully. And we just finished watching a really bad Kung Fu film, so why don't you take it away, Pete?
So we just watched Horseboxing Killer, also known as Cute Foster Sister, also known as Kung Fu Terminator.
Also known as Kung Fu Tom Selleck.
Yeah. All in all, I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Perfectly acceptable.
Yes. The fighting at the start was a bit but towards the end it picked up once they introduced the titled character.
Yeah.
It wasn't a particularly coherent plot.
No.
Absolutely not. I mean, I was writing down a synopsis as we went, and only after finishing the synopsis did I really understand the whole plot.
Yeah, so from what I gathered, it sort of started off with that sort of scene where they're all training together as a happy family.
Yeah.
Then it went with the sort of the lead male, like trying to sort of find his way in kung fu, like who to train from. So he started off at that the bunch of pretenders, and then did he go straight to that other master? No, the drunken master was after that.
Yeah. So I think the general plot is, I can't remember the name of the girl, but for the purposes of this, we'll just call her Cute Foster Sister, because clearly that's her name. So she's engaged to Jun Hai, who is the guy who wants to learn kung fu, and she's not that keen on marrying him because she's never met him before.
Which is, fair enough.
I think they're from different like martial arts families, and it's like an arranged marriage or something, but
or just different families who are relatively wealthy.
Yeah. So he doesn't seem that interested either. So he's going around. He joins that kung fu school, which turns out to be a sham.
Yeah, they were doing like bending metal around their neck, and it turned out it was just like rubber, basically.
Yeah.
And they had bricks that were made from.
In fact, the first character's name, which I wrote down because this film gets across characters' names and identities so poorly, was a guy called Mr. Wong, who literally just came by martial arts school, and he was the first named character, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, he was like, he wanted to have his men trained by this kung fu school, and was like, okay, I'll look at your students to know the master, and that's when you then find out that they're all a bunch of fakes.
Yeah,
but
he's the first named character.
Yeah.
Everything in my synopsis was built upon Mr. Wong, really. That's when it really started getting good.
Yeah. See, for a while, I thought the guy's third master was Mr. Wong initially.
Yeah, no.
Because he was just this rich guy who appeared.
Yeah, they were both rich guys.
That was about all we had to go on.
That was literally all we had to go on.
But this third master we nicknamed the Buddhist Santa.
But yes, we did. Buddhist Santa.
Or Buddhist Robin Hood.
Yeah. Buddhist Robin Santa.
He said he took from the rich and gave to the poor, but I don't think it ever showed the rich that he took from. Or was that the casino?
But then, I mean, that's not really stealing from the rich. That's just stealing off poor people who've had their money stolen by a casino.
Well, he's also stealing from the casino who's stealing money from the poor by faking it. But we need to first go to the drunken master.
We do. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So he sees the Buddha in the street handing out money, and he gets into this fight with this other guy, who's I think he's the brother to the foster sister, and I think he's looking for his sister at this point.
Yes,
I don't know. She ran away from home.
He's a fellow trainee.
But for some reason they called her the foster, even though we don't know who her foster brother is.
Exactly. If anything, he's the cute foster brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically he gets into a fight with her potential husband, and then the Buddhist Robin Hood's like kind of gets involved a little bit.
He just schools the shit out of both of them, basically.
Only one of them, really. He uses that like tie thing and ties the guy's hand together and then hangs him upside down.
Yeah.
Right. Then after that, for some reason, this guy goes and talks to the drunken master.
Yes. Now this is where I think it gets a little interesting, because in the synopsis that YouTube gives us, it mentions Sam Drunken Master Seed returns in another kung fu comedy kick. Now I'm pretty sure that is Sam Seed, is the drunken guy.
Yeah, and when I say comedy, it's if you took all of the Jackie Chan away from the drunken master.
Yes.
You know, there was slight comedy in it, but it was a bit flat.
But
especially his fighting.
But the drunken master is just one of the many masters that Jun Hai tries to train with.
Yeah.
And probably because they couldn't afford to pay him for the full movie, he's only in the movie for about 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, he trains with him for a bit, and it's like, don't like this guy. Goes off and trains with the cop Buddha? The Santa Claus Buddha.
Robin Christmas.
Yes. And, yeah, he seemed to be pretty happy training with him. You know, the guy was teaching the fundamentals, or reteaching him them.
Yeah. Doing the classic, I'm going to make you do something boring while I sit in a hammock routine.
Yeah.
That is a staple of Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, they should have had the song from Mulan playing.
They should have. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really should have.
I can't remember the name of it, unless it's Be a Man.
Oh, yeah, actually, we're getting ahead of ourselves, because this is a whole other story going on, which is that cute foster sister, she's going out on the town dressed as a man.
Oh yeah.
Looking for Jun Hai.
And generally wreaking havoc in her wake.
She literally goes to go buy cake, and causes like a battle between two cafes.
Yeah.
That results in the complete destruction of both of their businesses.
Yeah. So
she's not doing great.
Yeah. But you know that she's pretty much off in the background.
And this was.
That's after she walked. She walked through the market.
Yeah, the impetus of that was just because he was disgusted by men.
Yeah.
Yes, because there was that very weird sequence at the start where
it was like a nightmare sequence.
Yeah.
And then, like, when she went into the market, she met this, like, butcher who was just a bit of a fat piece of shit, really.
Yeah.
Whose then wife got angry.
And then a lecture.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. He was, like, following this woman around, fanning her ass.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh no, I'm going to fan her ass now.
Yeah.
And then she just ran away from home, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
well, all that's off in the background.
I think if that happened to me, I'd do the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Jun Hai is training with Father Christmas.
Yeah. It's going pretty well.
But this is when Tom Selleck arrives.
Yeah. So initially, his master is in town, just at like a tea place.
Yeah.
And then the drunken horse boxer is there as well, and he's looking for him.
Yeah.
And then it just like they go back, and he goes back and speaks to his pupil, and then I think he goes back into town again and fights him, and this fight inevitably leads to his death.
It does, yeah.
We don't have any idea why.
We've got to move the plot forward somehow.
Yeah.
Because God knows the other characters aren't pulling it along by themselves.
Exactly.
Somehow after getting beaten, he magically transports himself to where he was training. What's his name?
I don't think it's where he was training. I think he was just like along the way to his house.
Mm.
And he just like passed out basically. And it was that kind of shitty, oh, we're not going to show him actually kick the bucket, you know.
No, it was...
He's going to be like, alluded to it.
Yeah.
And then he became one with the Force.
He became... Yeah, that's literally how he died.
Yeah.
There was a crossfade to Jun Hai going and getting a job at a restaurant.
Yeah. With this woman who had like a load of people who wanted to work for her.
One master to stick with and learn one method.
So anyway, then he arrives at this restaurant And he's like, yeah, can I work here? We think it's a restaurant. It may have just been a mill.
Yeah, I mean, no, because they serve people in there.
Okay. No, because I thought that was next door where he was taking deliveries out.
Oh, maybe.
I think we said it was cake, but it was this white powdery stuff. Was that?
Yeah.
Was that
he was grinding
dumplings?
soy or something, I thought.
Sorry?
I think he was like grinding some sort of, I don't know, bean or something.
Bean curd,
Well,
that
she
was
said
it.
bean curds.
Yeah.
That's what you make tofu out of.
Yeah. We don't know what he did really. Like, he had these like pallets with this sort of rectangular cake on it. It could have been a bean curd.
So,
Yeah.
someone who's versed on Chinese food is just face palming right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. we suck, basically.
So then, whilst this is all going on, cute foster sister and her brother have returned home. And he's like, I want to go out and look for my husband. Because she left for a month, apparently.
Yeah.
And for some reason, she has an arranged marriage with a man she has never, ever seen.
Which is who she's been looking for in the last month.
And had no luck finding him for...
And she manages to persuade her father to let her leave for another 3 months.
Only with the accompaniment of her brother.
Exactly. And they happen to end up working at the same restaurant
That
Jun Hai is working at.
Or delivering to.
Or delivering to. But basically, Jun Hai, for some odd reason, changes his name to Chen Kang.
Yeah. I think it's because he knew that the guy was looking for him.
Maybe, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So he starts working for this restaurant. She starts working. He then takes the delivery. They meet each other. He's like, "Wow, you're good at kung fu," because comedy ensues when they first meet.
Yeah.
And he meets the brother again, and he's like, "Oh, it's you." And he's like, "Yeah, it's me."
Yeah, because they were fighting when Father Christmas was still alive and with us.
Yeah.
Bless him. Bless his soul.
Yeah. So anyway, then she's like, "Yeah, I'll teach you kung fu, or swallow boxing style."
But at the same time this is happening, the owner of the restaurant / mill / whatever the place is
falling in love with him.
She's falling in love with Jun Hai, now Chen Kang.
Yeah.
And she basically implies that, you know, she'd marry him and he'd have half of the restaurant / mill. But he rejects her because he just wants to do kung fu.
Yeah. And then he leaves the house, and she sees him leaving with foster sister.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. So then she sleeps. No,
we're missing a whole fight scene.
Yeah. Then he, at some point, I don't know which half of the world anymore, he goes to take delivery to the restaurant next door, and Horse Boxing Killer is in there, and like he accidentally gets some
daily bean curd fix.
Yeah, no, he's like when he arrives, he wants to be sat at the table, and he's like, "Oh, you clean the table," and then you see him clean the cup. So you know they're characterising him.
Exactly, it's quite cool as well that he's like a neat freak and
yeah, subtly.
Yeah,
you know. So then the guy comes to deliver the bean curd, and inevitably some gets spilt on him.
Yeah.
So then he goes out and challenges him in the wasteland because he wants the 5 cent per pallet of the whatever bean curd that got ruined.
Yeah. Which was all of the bean curd, really, because lots of bean curd. It was basically a food fight.
Yeah. It was like 12 pallets worth of it.
Yeah.
But he was only charging him for like 2 because that's all he was directly responsible for.
Yeah. He may have set the rest in motion, but it wasn't all on him.
Yeah. Anyway, they have this fight out in the wilderness. Yeah. Out in the desert.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he Horse Boxing Killer beats the shit out of him.
Without even using horse boxing.
Not even using horse boxing, just with regular boxing.
Yeah.
And so he comes back to the restaurant and he tries to get it on with the restaurant owner.
No, she tries to get it on.
Chen puts a stop to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But
And that's, I think, when she starts falling in love with him.
Oh no, she's already in love with him by then, I think.
I can't remember.
Is it implied that she's a former prostitute or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I have no idea.
But so then she sees him Jun Hai with cute foster sister, and starts getting jealous.
Yeah. So she then sleeps with Horse Boxing Killer.
She does in exchange
In order
for
to
him,
get-
I think, killing him.
Yeah, but he's like, I ain't killing him. I don't know why he isn't killing him. He's killed before and will kill again.
I think Horse Boxing Killer just likes to fuck with people.
Yeah. So then after that, they do another training montage, or light training montage.
Yeah.
Then, for some reason, Cute Foster Sister's father, or adopted father, ends up fighting the horse boxing killer.
Yeah, how was that explained? I swear there was just like a smash cut to him fighting him.
She said that all Chens must die or something.
No explanation, just, oh, we're fighting.
Yeah. So, yeah, they fight. Horse boxing killer actually uses his pile driver stallion style.
Yeah, and he kills him.
Yes.
Quite brutally as well, actually. He puts his whole, arm into his neck or something.
Through his neck, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wasn't there some kind of explanation that their thing, like, no, it was the fighting school at the start, wasn't it? That their fingers were stronger than their entire body.
Yeah, they said that.
But they were the fake.
But it was all tricks. Yeah.
But certainly the horse boxing killer was capable of that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
He's the real deal, though.
Yeah.
Genuinely, in real life, I think that that guy actually knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the others. I think they were more acrobatic stuff, but you could tell he actually knew how to fight because the fights got a lot more interesting when he was involved.
Yeah. Like the drunken master fight, as I said, it was a bit flat, a bit slow.
Yeah.
Whereas his fight had a lot of momentum to it, and technically it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Alternating between offensive and defensive. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he was cool.
Very methodical as well.
Yeah.
So he's killed the father. Then Cute Foster Sister and her brother find out that it was his fault that their father died.
Junhai's fault, and he's revealed to be Junhai and not Chen Kang.
Yeah.
Which is, I still don't really realise how he's responsible for their father's death.
I assume that the horse boxing killer had come looking for him because he was after him and he didn't know what he looked like, so he changed his name. Anyway,
but yeah.
So then they go after him. Oh, the brother goes after him and gets attacked in the woods because this guy is the forest, apparently.
Yeah.
And some weird colour correction starts happening.
Yeah, we're not sure whether or not he was actually wearing a blue suit, or whether or not it was white, and then they turned it blue in post.
Yeah. So at the first time when you introduced him, he's definitely wearing a baby blue.
Yeah.
So
pretty much every fight in the movie, he's wearing baby blue.
Yeah, which is fine. And then in this last fight, we don't know if he was both were wearing white, and they're like, oh, we can't tell who's who, so we'll colour correct him.
Yeah.
Because there was this weird sort of blue aura around him. And it was
that could just be his fighting spirit, Lawrence.
I don't think this film had that kind of budget.
Okay.
It was his key moving around his body.
It's whatever they want it to be.
If he concentrated it into a ball, he could do a Dragon Ball Z style laser attack.
Unfortunately, we never got to see that.
No.
Yeah. Anyway,
unfortunately. So
then he's kicking the air. No, he's kind of matching with the brother in this fight. And he's like, oh, you're used. Then both starts using swallow boxing. He's like, oh, now you've got the lead. I'll start using my stallion style. And he gets a really powerful sort of finger punch onto the side of the brother. And then the sister arrives in the nick of time and joins in the fight. Such takes over. And they basically end up killing him.
And then the movie just ends.
Yeah, just ends.
It literally just ends.
They stand over his body, and then the end show.
Yeah, so it just
ends.
Which
we don't get any sort of any after fight stuff about what happens with Junhai and Cute Foster Sister.
Yeah.
We don't find out whatever happens to the brother who's gone to bury the father. We never get to see Drunken Boxing Man again.
Yeah.
It just ends. We don't even see the credits. And maybe that's because we're watching on YouTube and they cut them out. It would have been nice to know who directed it.
Well, I can about that. But no, I feel like it kind of, because it's referred to as drunk horse boxing.
Yeah.
I think. Or definitely the way he was moving looked like he was using a drunk boxing style.
Yeah.
And so it's quick fire techniques of drunk swallow boxing. Yeah. So I think so it would make sort of sense if they'd have at least used that to tie in that how he learned drunk boxing, and how they could then utilise that to fight the drunk horse boxing.
Yeah, no, I feel like the only reason they put the drunk master in there was to get the audience who watched his previous movie.
Yeah, and I feel like
because I'm looking at the box art right now, and
he's on the box.
It's a scene he's not even in. It's not even in this movie.
I feel like the way the film also should have ended was her and her brother go to fight him. The brother kind of gets killed in the fight.
Yeah.
She then retreats, and then from having fought him, she sort of learnt his fighting style, and then uses that in their next fight.
And then John Hai joins in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they kind of ride off into the sunset, living happily ever after.
Or as happily as you can live in a world like that, which makes no sense.
Yes.
But all in all, it was alright. I mean,
Not the worst we've seen.
I've seen a lot worse.
It had a plot that we followed, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say also, definitely making the characters known. Who's
Yeah,
who.
no, they could have made that a lot clearer. Like, I mean, we're still calling her cute foster sister. We don't know what is her name, and her brother, who I've written down as comic relief, who isn't funny. Still don't know his name.
Yeah.
Even on IMDb, there's the list, there's the cast, but they're not the characters that they play.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, it's just got Su Ten Yu as Yao Xiaotian. I'm butchering the names. Oh yeah, by the way, the film's in Chinese is called New Shaolin Si, or something along those lines. And it was directed by Wang Chung Kong, or Chung Kong Wang, I think.
Very odd.
Yeah. Overall, what would you say?
I mean, IMDb's given it a 5.7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that.
No. It was, average.
It had some good moments. Like the bit with the butcher, that was some quality shit.
Yeah.
The bit when he gave a guy liver, I'll watch that again 10 times over.
He reminded me of that, I don't even know what film it was from. Maybe Ape Strikes the Wildcat, maybe The Origin of Wing Chang, of the Bat Butcher from that.
Oh, you mean One-Eyed Eagle?
Was it One-Eyed Eagle?
Yeah, that was from Mask of Vengeance.
I can't. They blur together too
I'm
much.
One-Eyed Eagle, and then he walked out and then he got killed.
I don't know, I don't think that was who we're thinking of.
What was with the guy at the start who was just fanning people?
He was a pervert.
So that's why he carries a fan around.
To fan ladies behind.
It's just like how paedophiles have to go to people's houses and tell them that they're a paedophile. In China, if they're a pervert, they just have to walk around with a fan.
Yeah.
Man, it must be really bad in hot weather to tell them apart.
See,
Everybody's fanning themselves. And then
initially I thought he
no,
was like her servant or something who was just a bit lecherous.
Oh, possibly, yeah.
But no, then it's like, then he pretty much clearly goes, oh no, I'm just following you because you have a nice ass.
Yeah.
It was this film had a odd obsession with buttocks.
It did actually, because the horse boxing killer, yeah. And it wasn't just with women, it was with Yun Hai's ass as well. They were all over that like a flannel.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we've watched worse. I think
It was a movie, that's for sure.
But they were selling tofu.
You sure? Yeah?
Lovely.
I'm referencing the song from Kung Fu Dunk Pete.
I see.
Lovely.
That's another one we're going to have to watch.
Oh, yeah.
God, I can't.
Isn't
wait
there a
to watch
sequel?
Whoa. Slow down. I've only seen one on IMDb.
that. Yeah.
I think I preferred Kung Fu Dunk to Shaolin Soccer.
Oh, sequel. It is widely reported that the sequel is on its way and production has begun, despite the film itself being poorly reviewed by most critics. Well, it's going to get one amazing review from us.
Kung Fu Dunk has a lower rating on IMDb than Horse Boxing Killer.
Wow, that is a travesty.
That is a travesty. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it knows what it wants to be.
Exactly.
It has a great song by the title, sung by the title character.
Yeah. What more could you want from a movie?
Right then, thanks for watching the KungFu Cast. We'll hopefully be back next week. You can follow Heat at the Time Starfish on Twitter, Ollie at Ollie from Solly, and me at Lozzacane on pretty much everything except Tumblr, which I'm Lozart. So yeah, see you next week and we'll watch some more bad Kung Fu stuff.